These are the directions on how to do the dividing fractions sorting center. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Canvas, Math, Modules, and I'm going to click on the assignment that's called Dividing Fraction Sorting there at the top. I'm going to click the red bar that says Launch External Tool. It is a Google assignment, so a step that you might not see going on here is it might ask you to log into your Google account. If you do need to log into your Google account, go ahead and do that now. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, then I'm going to click on the slides that says my name and then dividing fractions and mixed number word problem sort. It's going to open up the slides. This first slide is a direction. So it says, read each word problem and find the division problem that would be set up to solve the problem. Drag and drop the division problem card and the division problem spot next to the problem. On a separate sheet of paper, solve the problem. That is an important step. If you don't have an extra piece of paper right now, go get it now, because you will not get points for this assignment unless you're writing your work down somewhere. A problem I've been seeing with some of my students is that they're solving the problem on their desk, which is fine, but you need to then take a picture of the work you did on your desk, or you need to move it onto a piece of paper. Where in trimester 2, we will no longer take your word for it that you solved the problems and you forgot to write it down. Go get a piece of paper right now if you do not have one. Okay. I'm going to move on to my next slide so I can drag down. Okay, what I need to do now is I'm going to double tap on my screen. And when I double tap, it makes this other things appear. I have these blue tiles on the left and these pink tiles on the right. Okay, so you can see for each problem, it has a division problem spot, which is these over here. So I'm going to drag the tile that has the equation set up correctly, and then the pink ones are the answers. So that's kind of how it works. Okay. So let's start with the first one. It says, if 5 people share 1/3 a pan of brownies, what fraction of the pan of brownies will each person get? Now you're solving this on an extra piece of paper. I'm going to do it on this screenshot slide here just so we can all see the work when I'm doing it. Okay, what's important to know is you have to set up the problem correctly. So you got to pay attention to what is the problem asking you. The problem says, what fraction of the pan of brownies? So that means the pan of brownies fraction is going to go first, which is 1/3. So I'm going to do 1/3 divided by 5. Okay, so it should look like 1/3 divided by 5. Okay, now I'm going to go look on the blue tiles and see if there is a blue tile that looks like 1/3 divided by 5. There is one. I see it right here. Something important to note, they do have the 5 divided by 1/3 one. So don't think just because it has a tile here that you did it correctly, right? You have to make sure you're still doing it the right way. You can't check your answer with the tiles. Okay, so I'm going to move it to the division problem spot. Okay, now I'm going to solve it. So I'm going to do 1/3 divided by 5. Okay, so 1/3 times 1/5. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 5 is 15. So the answer should be 1/15. I'm going to go see if they have a pink tile that looks like that. And they do right here, which means 1/15 is my answer. Notice if I would have done it wrong, the answer would have just been 15. Look, they do have a tile that says 15. That means just because there's a tile there with the answer, that doesn't mean you did it right. So you still need to be checking your answers. Okay, so you'll do the same thing for this slide and all of the next slide. Remember, if you have any questions, remember to talk to your group before talking to your teacher.